So everyone thinks that in Dubai, you don't have to pay any taxes whatsoever. Now, in Dubai, you actually do have to pay taxes. And here at GenZone, we have filed for our first corporate tax return. And yes, we paid taxes in a tax-free country that is no longer fully tax-free. So let's break down exactly why we pay taxes, but why most businesses also won't pay taxes, because it's not applicable to everyone. In most cases, you actually don't have to worry about this. So let's dive into it. If you don't know me already, my name is Kevin McKenzie, co-founder and partner consultant here at GenZone, where we help people just like you get set up in Dubai the proper way, get your residency visa, business license, bank accounts in under 30 days. If you're looking for that assistance, you can book a call using the link down below, or you can scan the QR code found anywhere on this video and get in touch with us directly. Now, to give you some background, Dubai used to be fully tax-free. It used to be 0% corporate tax and 0% personal income tax. Now, why did this change? In my opinion, the pressure from other countries that are losing all their millionaires made the UAE change their tax laws, with the OECD, applying so much pressure. For example, the UK is losing over 9,000 millionaires per year, and a lot of other countries are losing their millionaires. And where are they going to? In most cases, they are going to Dubai specifically. So Dubai is actually a place that attracts a lot of high net worth individuals, and it has been for a very long time. You can easily set up your company here with GenZone. We can do it all for you, and you can easily start paying 0% taxes with almost no paperwork. So it makes it really a no-brainer for someone to move to Dubai and basically double their income overnight. Because for example, in Canada, you would make 200,000, you're really making only around 130, while here in Dubai, you make 200, you keep 200. In 2023, the UAE added a 9% corporate tax. Now, this 9% tax, it's really important to keep in mind, this is not applicable to most people, but it's a corporate tax, so it's applicable to companies. However, there are some things you need to keep in mind. Is it applicable to every company? Yes and no. So who is it actually applicable to? In this case, it's only applicable to companies that are making more than 3 million AED in revenue annually. As an example, let's say you're a company here in Dubai, your revenue was 2.9 million dirhams in the tax period, right? In this case, is corporate tax applicable to you? And the answer is no, it's not applicable to you. Why? Because your revenue is below 3 million, right? Very, very straightforward. That's literally all you need to know. However, let's now say that your revenue goes above 3 million. So let's say your revenue was 3.1 million AED, right? In this case, will corporate tax be applicable to you? And the answer is yes, it will be applicable to you. However, there are some other things you need to keep in mind. This is not the only thing they're going to look at. They're not only going to look at your revenue. They're going to go a step further and ask you a second question. And that question will be, is your profit above 375,000 dirhams? So let's write that down. Now, for example, let's say your net profit was above 375,000. In this case, you will be subject to a 9% corporate tax. And I'll go into more detail in a second. If your profits are below 375,000 or exactly that amount, you're not subject to any corporate taxes. So in this case, you will pay 9% if yes, and if no, you continue to pay 0%, even if your revenue exceeds the 3 million threshold mark. Now, one thing that people will mention is, Kevin, what if my revenue is below 3 million, but my profit is above 375,000? So for example, you made 2.9 million and your profit was also 2.9 million, right? It's well above the 375,000. The very simple answer is it does not matter what your profit is, as long as your revenue does not exceed 3 million AED. It might sound backwards to some people, but that's the truth. That's the reality. If this is below 3 million, you're good. No taxes at all. It doesn't matter if your profit is also 2.9 million. That's the current rule, and that's how it is. So let's continue to the case where you potentially have to pay the corporate tax, because in this case, you do have to pay corporate tax if your net profit is above 375,000 and your revenue is above 3 million. But you need to keep in mind the UAE does have a small business relief where they're going to relieve you from some of those taxes. In this case, the first 375,000 AED will be tax-free. Anything above that is subject to corporate tax. So for example, let's say your revenue is 3.1 million, you do have to potentially pay corporate tax. Now we go down to your profit. Now let's say your profit was 475,000, right? If this is your net profit, they will subtract this amount first, leaving you with 100,000, right? And from this 100,000, you have to pay your 9%. That's how it works. So if you do the math, 100,000 times 9% equals 9,000 dirhams, right? So very, very low taxation here because you still get a small business relief. Now, this is not going to last forever. Of course, if you want more information, we have more videos about this on the channel, but it's important to keep in mind that this small business relief will relieve you from a lot of money in taxes. And if you don't know what this amount is in US dollars, this is 102,000 USD and 3 million dirhams in revenue in US dollars is 816,000 US dollars. So it's very difficult to pass the threshold. Of course, I hope you do pass the threshold. That means you're doing good. And obviously, guys, this is 9% on your 100,000 here. And if you didn't have this small business relief, you would have had to pay significantly more. It would have been the 475 times 9%, which makes you pay 42,758D. So you're saving a lot of money by not having to pay this. So instead of paying 42,000, let's say 43,000, you're paying 9,000. So it's a big difference. So realistically, your effective tax rate is 1.9% on your profits in this case, thanks to the small business relief. So really, you're paying a 2% tax instead of a 9% tax. And in no cases will you actually ever pay a true 9%. Unless it's like a very, very high number where the 375,000 is just insignificant. But in most cases, it's gonna be a pretty significant chunk, saving you money. So of course, if you're looking for more information about how to set up a company in Dubai, you're looking for experts to help you with your process, book a call using the link down below. Of course, guys, we've helped so many people do this process and we do it best. If you need more assistance, book a call. And if you're not ready to book a call just yet, you can watch this video right here. Watch it. It gives you a lot of value about what it looks like to work with us once we get started.